It started on a Tuesday. Nothing special about Tuesday. Stickman was doing what he always does, avoiding productivity, walking around his apartment, pretending he was about to do something useful. And that's when he saw it, behind the coat rack, the one that had been there since he moved in 3 years ago. The one buried under jackets he hadn't worn since last winter and a bag he kept meaning to return. He moved the rack to vacuum. He never vacuumed. But today, for reasons he still can't explain, he did. And that's when he saw the wall. Except it wasn't a wall, it had a seam, a perfect vertical line running from the floor to the ceiling. He ran his finger along it. Dust fell, old dust, the kind that takes years to build up. He pushed, nothing. He pulled, nothing. He knocked on it. It didn't sound like a wall, it sounded hollow. It sounded like something was on the other side. He stepped back and stared at it for a long time. His brain was doing that thing where it offers you two options. Option one, this is nothing. A weird seam in the wall from construction. Happens all the time. Walk away, make a sandwich, forget about it. Option two, there is a room behind that wall that you have never been in your apartment, that you have lived in for 3 years. He did not make a sandwich. He examined every inch of that seam, top to bottom, left to right, and then he found it. Low on the right side, almost at the floor, a small indentation, just big enough to fit 2 fingers. He crouched down, fit his fingers into it, and pulled. The wall moved, not dramatically, not like a movie. It was slow, heavy. It groaned like it hadn't moved in a very long time. Cold air came out first. Not just cool, cold. The kind of cold that doesn't belong in an apartment. The kind that makes you stop and reconsider your choices. He pulled it fully open and looked inside. It was a room, a real room, roughly the same size as his bedroom, but it was completely empty except for 3 things. A chair, a desk, and on the desk a single lamp that was on, plugged into a socket he couldn't see, casting a small circle of yellow light in an otherwise completely dark room. The lamp was on, in a room he had never opened, in an apartment he had lived in for 3 years. He stood in the doorway for what felt like a very long time. The cold air kept coming out. The lamp kept glowing. The chair sat perfectly centered in front of the desk as if someone had just stood up from it moments ago. And then he noticed something else. Something he almost missed because he was too focused on the lamp. The walls. They weren't bare. Not entirely. On the wall, directly behind the desk, almost hidden in the shadow at the edge of the lamp's reach, there were marks. Not paint, not wallpaper. Marks, like someone had been writing on the wall, over and over, in small tight lines from floor to ceiling. He stepped closer. The cold got worse. He pulled out his phone and turned on the flashlight. He pointed it at the wall behind the desk and read the first line he could make out. Day 1. I found the room. He moved the light down slightly. Day 4. The lamp turns itself off at midnight. I have started leaving before then. Further down. Day 11. I think the room is larger than it looks. I measured it yesterday. The measurements don't match today. He stopped reading. He stepped back. He looked at the handwriting on the wall. Hundreds of lines, maybe more, starting high near the ceiling, smaller, more controlled, and getting larger and less steady as they descended toward the floor. Whoever had written this had been here many times, over many days, and the writing near the bottom, the most recent writing, the writing closest to the floor, it was shaky, like the hand that wrote it was not entirely calm. The last line, written at floor level, almost too small to read even with the flashlight directly on it, said one thing. Don't come back after midnight. He checked his phone. It was 11:47 p.m. He had not realized how long he had been in the room. He looked at the lamp. Still on. Steady, warm yellow. He looked at the desk. He looked at the chair. He looked at the drawer. He opened it. Inside was a single piece of paper. He picked it up and turned it over. On it, in handwriting he didn't recognize, but handwriting that matched the writing on the wall, were 3 words. You found it. He put the paper down. He took one last look at the wall of writing. The lamp, the chair, the room, the cold. He walked out. He closed the hidden door behind him. He pushed the coat rack back into position. He sat down on his couch and stared at the wall across from him. He never opened that door again. Not because he forgot about it, not because he got too busy, but because whatever that room was, it already knew he was coming. And if it already knew he was coming, then the note on the desk wasn't a discovery. It was a welcome. He ordered a pizza, turned on the TV, and spent the rest of the evening pretending everything was fine. It was not fine. He checked the time before he went to sleep. Out of habit, he told himself, not for any other reason. It was 11:58 p.m. He did not look at the hallway. He turned off the light. He closed his eyes. Somewhere in the apartment, very quietly, something clicked. He told himself it was the heating. He did not sleep. Looks like he still can't catch a break. Follow for more.